Nobody wants to be a wage slave. No words could ever describe the sorrow and the suffering and the discomfort of what it means to be a wage slave. Only getting 1 to 2 days to yourself every 7 days with no end in sight is diabolical. What gets me is how no one can see it really except for the few who've had enough. I don't see how this has been normalized and justified. For me to say that I'm exhausted would be an understatement of a lifetime. This place is some form of a prison, it's not some form, it is a prison straight up. I mean, there's no need to beat around the bush of what it is. And what makes it worse is not only are you enslaved, but your tasks keep growing. It gets harder and harder, and then more obligations. Your job won't even stay the same. The job just keeps transforming. And it doesn't matter where people go, well, just get a new job. It doesn't matter if you get a new job. It'll just start happening there too. Your job just keeps putting on more weights, more weights, more weights until you break, and then they just hire a new person. Nothing stays the same. People's personalities at your jobs shift from one moment to another. One moment they're all happy, one moment they're trying to stab you in the back, one moment you hear a rumor about what's about you. One moment you're this, and it doesn't matter where you're at. The spirit follows you to job to job. It's not a person, it's a spirit. And the spirit resides inside of the prison called life. It's called life for a reason. You're serving a sentence. And until you wake up to see that, it doesn't matter if you wake up or not. You still gonna have to go through it. You could become the most enlightened person tomorrow and still have to clock your ass into work. You don't get to sleep. You don't get to rest. You don't get to heal. You don't get to watch your TV shows. You don't get to create anything. You just get to get your ass up forever. This is a prison. A celestial prison of a sort. And it's so sad to me that no one can see it. It's the equivalent of a group of people getting set on fire and beaten to death with rods. And then one person goes, "Oh my God, this is wrong." Then everybody goes, "Nothing's wrong with it. You're crazy. What are you talking about? Get him out of here. He doesn't want to be beaten with rods and set on fire." That's what the equivalent of living in this world is like when you have to deal with other people. And it's sad, it breaks my heart. Because not only do we have to deal with that, but we also have to deal with the passing of loved ones and having to live through that and then get your ass and go to work on top of the passing of loved ones and the deterioration of self and sickness and disease and all types of other issues, political agendas. We are subjected to so much indescribable misery that no words can even describe it. It's a miracle that anybody can even crack a smile in this place. I pray and I talk to God with my silent little whispers of hope. But how can you pray to the person that's letting this stuff happen? It's so confusing. It's so disheartening. I'm not depressed. I'm over being depressed. I'm just totally exhausted. And I hope for a better day. I hope for a kinder reality to live in. I'm tired of chasing money. I'm tired of chasing successes. So what if I get money and success? What about all the other people on this planet suffering and exuding negative and sad and scared energy in the galaxy around me? I'm not going to be able to sleep well at night. I'm tired of working in haunted facilities. I'm tired of so many things. And all I'm really looking for is happiness. But how can you be happy in a place like this? It's like the only way you can be happy is if you're delusional. You have to be delusional to be happy. You have to live in compartments of lying to yourself to be happy. Because if you really step out and lay it all on the table, there's only about two or three things to be happy about, and that's not enough. I'm so tired here. Everything is on repeat like Groundhog's Day, the movie. Everything is pointing to Inception. Everything is pointing to the Matrix. Everything is pointing to simulation theory. Everything is pointing to fear. Everything is pointing to existentialism. Everything is pointing to alien stuff, alien activity. Everything is pointing to voodoo and witchcraft and black magic. Everything is pointing to the worst things possible, and very little is pointing to God. I mean, I guess all of it's pointing to God because He's the creator of all of it. And then that's what's confusing. That's what's sad. My brain hurts living in this world. I feel like all the nutrients have been sucked out of me. Trying to stay awake, trying to appease and tip and taptoe. What is it? Tiptoe? I said taptoe. Trying to tiptoe for all these fucking human beings. Trying to play the game, trying to not miss a beat, trying to clock in on time, clock out on time, go to this meeting, go to that meeting, all for pennies, not even enough to keep up with the cost. This place is dangling us like voodoo dolls, like puppeteer masters, and I'm tired of dancing. I'm so tired of this place. Even though I do what it takes to survive inside of it, that doesn't mean that I'm happy inside of this place. This place is diabolical. Just because, well, there's a quote. It's not okay to be. What's the quote again? It is no measure of mental health to be well adjusted to a sick society. Just because I'm making it and I'm doing okay and I got my ducks in a row, that doesn't mean that I'm mentally healthy. Just because I'm playing the game and I'm doing it right, that don't mean that I'm winning. You could get everything you want, play the game right, meet every agenda, and still lose in your spirit or lose the game. And I hate this. I hate this for you who's listening, and I hate this for me. People think that it's just me complaining about my own personal sorrow, but it's not. I'm angry for you. I'm angry for the person who's listening, who's tuned in to stay this deep. I'm angry for the person who's resonating with the evil that's happening in this dimension. I'm angry for you that you have to take all this pain and all this suffering and get little in return. You get crumbs and chips. I hope that we all get into a better reality. I hope that we manifest into a kinder carnation of freedom and love and positivity and No slavery. I'm just so tired of working every day of my life. Something's got to give. To think that generation after generation after generation after generation after generation have experienced time and fear and wage slavery and death and loss and politics and racism and hatred and bio warfare and all types of weird stuff. It breaks my heart to think about what the human creature has had to endure in its manifested time of living here. It's sinister. My worst nightmares are better than what's happening in this life. I'd rather have a nightmare than to wake up in this place. Sure, my loved ones are here, my mom, my friends, the people I care about, my brothers, my sisters, but still, waking up in this place is worse than any nightmare I've ever had because it's happening over and over and over and over and over again. A nightmare ends, but this nightmare ain't ending. This is the true nightmare, the nightmare of life. And I pray to God that we all wake up from this one. Peace.